Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to the last episode in Singapore of the Monkey Business Show. Woo! We literally came running from the arena to try to get here as soon as possible, so I'm gonna introduce already whoever came here with me, and I think we're gonna get guests as they keep arriving. Johan Sunstein, N0tail, what's up, buddy? Woo! Oh, don't fall. Sebastian Debs, you're invited as well. Welcome. And Tobias, Topson, Godson, Jadson.
I forgot something.
You forgot something. Okay, I think we're gonna win half of the show. Hello, guys. You made it to another finals. Congratulations.
Yeah.
This is four finals in a row for you.
Yeah, really. I mean, that's not how I envisioned it, but thank you, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a big accomplishment, you know?
Really, yeah. All that matters is being on stage. It's not necessarily to play or to win.
You were in the finals, and you did not lose today. Think about it.
Yeah?
That means you're half winner, at least.
Maybe next time I'll just, clean the stage after everything is done, and you'll congratulate me too.
Dude, I'm completely sweating. It's been amazing. We were in the arena. Obviously, you guys were in the panel. How was that?
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Like, the passion from the fans was really, really high. Like, wow. I don't know. I had a really good time. I obviously would have wished for more games and more challenge. But at the same time, I do think there was a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot, but there was definitely progression in the meta, or like Secret's approach to breaking Tundra. But at the end, they didn't really manage. Nisha had an incredible performance. I think all of them, they played their hearts out, but Tundra, just macro-wise, theory-wise, yeah, they're too strong this tournament.
Topson, how was it for you, the finals? That was a great comment.
I don't know.
Your answers are as strong as Secret's performance right now. Your answer was as convincing as Secret's performance.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really know. I feel like we have talked about it, like the Thunder's play style has been the same for a year or even more now, and I was kind of expecting Secret, kind of test them more, kind of figure it out more, but I feel like just Thunder another level. There was no competition really on the finals.
Yeah.
So Ceb, I have to trust you on the true, insightful and delicate. What happened? It's just they never came online.
Yeah, I feel like Tundra, they have this style, right? And maybe my biggest disappointment competition-wise was maybe how Secret used the break. Because I understand how it's maybe hard to figure it out on the spot, but they had 5 days break to understand Tundra. And when I saw upper bracket finals, I feel like they did not understand Tundra. Neither did they really do it in the grand finals. That's at least my read on it. I do think that some of the adjustments they made in the grand finals, especially Game 2 draft, especially Game 2, were good. But, it's like best of 5. There's so many other things than just Dota. And when you're in grand finals of TI, there's the pressure, the fatigue. They also had to play Liquid. There's so many things, right, that they had on their plate that day. So you can't really blame them from not being able to kind of, reverse sweep or break the strongest team of the tournament kind of on the spot when being super tired. But yeah, the 5-day break, I think theory-wise they could maybe do better, but at the same time, this is a LCQ team. They had to overcome so much, and maybe this is as much as they could offer for the amount of time they've been together, because these things take time to build. As Tobias said, Tundra has been building this. We played against that Tundra last year for qualifiers, that style. They were already kind of really good at it, mastering it, and they've had a full year of experience to kind of, polish it and make it even better. So maybe it was an unfair fight in a way, but yeah, you're always disappointed. I don't like 3-0s, even though of course, grass for Tundra, to Tundra, that was impressive. Yeah.
I have to.
And actually, I probably owe them something.
What?
It's I want to take the. I take the praise. This is my idea, by the way. I was not forced to do this, but I think I deserve this.
Wait, so show the other one first, I think.
You're going to show this?
Yeah. Okay, so this is a classic. Ceb tweet.
I'll give them the picture.
This kick will be remembered as one of the worst in Dota history.
I'll hold it proudly. This is my gift. This is my gift to Tundra for winning TI, you know.
Yeah. So the
Wait,
story.
we have more tweets, I think. Can we bring I was just kidding.
No, I'm doing this only for this one. I log it off, by the way, definitely.
So we know we told this story many times. We talk a lot, and we have like this group message when we are like watching the game sometimes together. But I do give you credit because both of you said that Chandra was going to be one of the strongest teams to look at this year. You said it before the bootcamp because exactly what you said. They have been polishing this play style, and it's very hard to counter. So I wanted people to understand a little bit better without really having to give too much of a. It's just when you play Chandra, you don't see anything. You don't see the map. And they have these heroes, which we talked about it the last day, yesterday, and the day before, like the Miranas, and they're constantly limiting what you can see. And you think that maybe Secret never understood. They thought they understood. Obviously, they came with a plan, right? They were like, okay, if we do this and this and this.
I mean, I think maybe we shouldn't say that they didn't understand. At least they did not. They did not ending up like countering it. You know, maybe they didn't understand. Maybe they did, but they didn't have tools, or maybe execution wasn't there. For sure, they did not push them out of this system. At least, yeah.
But then I would say they thought that they were going to have a counter, right? They came with a proposal to play against them.
It's a fair assumption to make, of course.
Yeah.
I think definitely right? game 1 and 2, I think they came in with the plan that they had made, you know, over the 5-day break. Obviously, you don't plan to just go into the finals. You have a step first. But I think there was some misexecution from game 1 and game 2. Things had to, of course, go better. Like this, I think the laning phase in game 1 and game 2 did not go well enough for those strats to work. But yeah, and then game 3, I think the adjustment that they made was, okay, we cannot try this anymore. We're going back for something else. Maybe you wanted to reverse that. I mean, now we can always look in hindsight, but obviously they tried, right? Like I said, I think they really played their hearts out today, also against Liquid. Yeah, and sometimes that's just not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I was in the Secret choo-choo train today. I thought that if they came with momentum with Liquid, you know, that magic could happen. And
I also think the finals could have looked even more one-sided if Liquid would have been there, I would say. I think teams have to come up with something against them, and I feel like still there was some planning done. Puppy probably came in with these plans, but maybe not everybody saw what Heen or Puppy or whoever was seeing, and I think maybe some of the execution comes from this too.
okay. So Topson, for you, obviously, we can talk about Nisha. I think Nisha has been, for a very long year, probably the best player in the roster and one of the best players in the world. And a lot of the strategy probably from Secret goes on how they play the silence and then how to enable Nisha, right? I mean, obviously I'm reducing it to an absurd, but what happened to Nisha during these finals? You thought that he just couldn't play it, or?
I think he was playing great. He was playing great all the games, and I don't really know. I can't really get in his shoes and say what could have he done more, because obviously sometimes it's, you know, the team is kind of holding you down. Like, even if you make the right calls, and if your team doesn't listen to it, like, then it's, you know, what can you do, kind of. And yeah, he was amazing. I think he was definitely the star player of the team. Has been for a long time.
I agree.
And like the true star, like not as in, because sometimes some players look good because they don't try to. Of course, everybody tries to win, but sometimes, you know, it's like when you try to win a game that's really hard to win, you might end up in a spot where you look really bad Dota-wise, right? You just like die because you feel like, well, if they get this Roche, we're gonna lose the game, and then you're just dying in your team. Maybe, you know, they did stuff. I feel like he looked good trying to win as hard as he could, which is very commendable, you know. And he looked more than good. He looked like amazing, while really trying to fight back as hard as he could, which is really hard. So.
Do you think he gets overlooked, maybe because he doesn't do a lot of the content, or, I mean, the Dota minds know.
I think everybody respects him. Like, you mean like from the community?
Yeah, for the fans. I mean, we don't talk as much about him, but he's stellar. He's so good.
I think everybody.
Maybe it's just me.
Yeah. No, I mean, maybe he doesn't get like super praise and stuff, but I've never heard a lot of flack on him.
Okay.
That's how
At least not from pro players, yeah. I don't know. I mean, Twitter always has great things to say, and Reddit, right? They always know what's up, but no, truly, like every pro player who's played against Nisha, I mean, from day one, anybody who goes to the lane against him, they feel it. I mean, you have to feel it.
Yeah. No. So I also want to talk a little bit about, obviously, Papi, you know. This guy, what a legend, eh?
Yeah, well, next year he's set to win, right?
Right? 5, 4,
my God.
3,
Don't even
2.
bother. Stay home. Just give it to him already. Like, let's just. The stage is set. The production is ready. Let's just do the ceremony.
You can play for second place.
Give the Aegis to Puppy.
Oh my God! It must be the Monka S if you go into the finals next year and you play against Secret. It's like
Dude, what do we have to say? Put it into words, because maybe some people don't understand the commitment that you need to do to be there for what, 11 years?
TI, every single TI.
It's like I started Dota. He was already the best. I quit Dota. He's still the best. Like, you understand? Like,
It's amazing.
He's like this unmovable object. Like, he's just there. You know, he's like the sun. You know, like, you were born, the sun was there. You're gonna die, the sun is still there. Like, Puppy is like the same. You know, it's crazy. He's just there. He's like, yeah, somewhere there.
I wonder really how he deals with it. Like, I wonder if it's like he just goes through monitors every month to deal, like to vent, or like how he stays like in the scene and doesn't take the breaks.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's seen so many players, so many patches. Like, yeah, he must be like a Dota encyclopedia or something.
Did
like,
you see Knoxville's tweet? So he tweeted that out of the 25 pros with most games, 7 of them had exclusively played in China. And then there were, I think it was like 13 out of the 18 or something like this, like out of the European, he had played with.
Wow.
Out of the most experienced Dota players, you know? And Universe was also there, even though they played for like 2 weeks or whatever at Manila, but still, like 13 out of the 18 most experienced players he played
You've
with.
played with him.
Yeah, yeah, thanks for remembering.
No, I know. I mean, no, but I was thinking like, who did not play with him, you know? Like,
Did you play with him?
no, I didn't.
Ooh.
Topias didn't.
And that's weird, because you've been in 45 teams.
I played against him a lot. I played against him over the years. Yeah.
In one of the podcasts, we went through how many teams you've been in your career, and we were like making fun. Oh, look at this guy has been in 20
Right.
teams. Let's look at Ceb.
Good old days.
I mean, if it wasn't for Navi, Puppy would have been in hundreds of teams. So
True.
you know? But yeah, no,
Shit.
he's a legend.
Let's give good words to the Secret, because they played amazing. Papi had a great tournament.
Rezo, Zayak.
Reso,
Yeah.
bosses as well.
I mean, how long had they been in Secret for, those two?
Yeah, I mean, it was just for Riyadh. I mean,
yeah.
no, Zayak joined a little bit before, and then Rezo joined for the Riyadh Masters, so a few months only. And Zayak, I can't remember when was the Yabzor announcement. Maybe a little bit.
Maybe it was
like slightly
Dubai.
before.
Maybe it was the one before, the tournament before the Dubai.
So that was a lot of building in a short time.
Yeah, it was amazing. And they were telling the stories today on the videos that they went publicly saying, we want to play together, which team would like to have us, and nobody wanted to have them together. Because obviously teams were maybe not looking for two, maybe they were just looking for one of them.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, I like that how he found success, you know, he ground himself there, he played into the LCQ all the way up. Whew, the heart you have to have for not giving up. He was like saying, I might not play anymore, you know, maybe I just have to go to school or do other things. He was, and here you are. You know something about that?
Yeah.
That sounds familiar?
It's a beautiful story. It's a nice story, you know, like from being that close to retiring from him, all of a sudden being in TI Grand Finals. I mean, of course, I feel a little bit bad for him in the sense that, yeah, he came short with DC, and now once again. So, yeah, hopefully, I mean, this guy just spreads positivity all the time. Hopefully, he doesn't feel too bad. And
Would have been the same for Martin too. He
Yeah.
would have. I mean, they were both
would've.
in the finals together, right, in DC.
Both of them were together. Yeah, both of them are second place sirs, right? So one of them today was going to be on the right side of things, and the other on the wrong side of things. That's just how life is.
Can you agree to a tie in Dota?
No. I feel like everybody would feel like losers, right? Like,
I mean, for sure.
And so we talk about all the Secret players, and before we talk about Tundra, I also want to go to the first series, that it was the Liquid versus Secret. Those games were super hype as well. There was, I don't know, remember which one, it was like game 3 or that. It was like, they wipe them, then they get wiped by them, and then they, like, what was going on, dude? That series was crazy.
Which one was it?
The Liquid Secret, I think it was game 3.
Oh, right.
They went to top lane, they killed all of them, and then they went to the triangle, then they get killed.
I'm trying to remember.
It was the Nakes Lina versus.
Oh, right. Yeah. It started with the Tuscan Fest.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it was
This is
a
the
huge mistake.
draw invoker.
Yeah, the draw invoker. Like, I already called the game. Like, I thought for sure Liquid was going to close this out. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they had the game. And then they do this one Tuscan Fest with Nakes. I already thought it was a mistake. I think they had 2 or 3 forced stabs. Beast gets forced out, turns around, gets the roar in the Nakes, and it's this perfect range hero drow fight on the high ground where he gets all the hits in. I think he alacrity Enchantress in this fight.
Oh yeah, the puppy Ench.
Yeah, and Ench was like just owning it, and the positioning. I mean, a lot of small things went into this comeback, like how Ench was the one to go in, still get the damage out, them saving each other, Nisha doing all the things he could with the alacrity, with the spells. I think it was a really hard comeback. I actually think Liquid jumped the gun a bit on this Tusk in Fest Bomb on the Beast.
I think the one fight where Sai got popped right away, and then they still decided to take the fight on the triangle.
That was
like the one that kind of like the big throw of the game.
Yeah.
And I think this game, like they just have to kind of, they were maybe too eager to keep fighting and stuff. And if the Matu gets his nullifier, I think the game just kind of gets super easy.
Yeah. They needed the nullifier.
Yeah, but it just came like way too late. They already lost like a couple fights, and then he gets it, and then he just like ends up dying to some random ends or
That's maybe one of the
Ench,
moments where
wow.
that's maybe like one of the moments where in Dota too high energy might play against you. Maybe that's what happens. Just too much energy, too much chaos.
That's been the storyline for Liquid.
Correct.
Right?
That's exactly what we're talking about. Because we've seen the comms throughout the whole tournament, and they're like, "Go for it, go! Yeah, don't let him go."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can imagine that moment where don't let him go. We're gonna pop him, and then it's like boom.
They lacked composure and cold blood in that moment. It's like as Topson said, like Brew gets popped. Like honestly, they have no reason to kind of dive beyond the hill into a ward. The Snake's already clicked rage at that point, and he's just trying to find the draw that's getting 4 staffs back. You can kind of see that, it's like you look at the first 2 seconds of the fight, you're like, you guys sure you don't want to go back here? But probably the energy is so high that it's like, kill the draw or something. And then, I mean, we're assuming, right? Maybe it was like cricket sounds and they were fully in control, but it's hard to believe when you see it. And probably, they're going to go back. And it's definitely a turning point of the game. So it's got to hurt.
There was the fight that was next to the top tier 2, where the draw get 4 staff and then he mantas Gust, and then turns around and jumps into the hill. His positioning was so good.
Yeah.
He was running for his life.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting game, right? Like you have all this positioning in this game, and it's so much about the 4 stars, right? You play against Snakes, you play against Tusk, and you're playing these range heroes. It takes really good team play, and to be in the position Secret was in, it was one of the tougher comebacks to pull off, I think. Yeah. And
that fight was just really beautiful. Like the way Crystallis already had used his force, he was about to die, and then he turns to like the hill, and then he gets 4 staff by I don't know who he was, but anyway, it's like I was like, wow, these guys are just
that was amazing.
playing super good right now.
Might have been Puppy actually, maybe because Puppy was still alive, right? And he had Pike at that point.
Yeah,
might have been Puppy.
And that was in a way you put him on the high ground, and now he's just shooting down.
And like a perfect high ground position, right? Like he was literally on this kind of. Just protected by the high ground, like around him, and he's just shooting. It was a beautiful Dota moment. Like definitely a true side cinematic moment.
Yeah.
I could see a very nice animation.
Give me some of that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about also Liquid. I think they had an incredible run. Again, another LCQ.
I mean, I'm really sad Matu retires. At the same time, I'm happy. I don't think I can take another video of him just like being like that. Like my heart, like I can't take it anymore. Like my heart is broken every time, man.
I got teary. I'm not gonna lie, and I mean obviously I've lived through some of these moments. I've lived it a little bit with both of you, and I lived it 6 times with you about the constant retirement. But it's like he's talking about similar concepts. I want to find a life. I look forward to see what I can do, and right now I want to find other joys and other happiness. And it's like, dude, I want to go and run and give him a hug. What do? Yeah, he's a special play. He's a pleasure guy.
Yeah, and competition is it's beautiful and it's tough. Real competitors sacrifice it all, and at the end of the day, I think it's up to everyone to also enjoy it. Because that sacrifice should be worth something. So, I mean, you can cry with him, but you should also take great joy in what he pulled off here. And I don't know. I think it's. We should be grateful, for what he's sacrificed and for what he's shown us, the entertainment and the beauty and the raw Dota. I want to give a clap for Matu. Yeah.
Matu. Internally, between the players, there's obviously some players that are more liked and more beloved. I don't think there's anybody that has anything bad to say about Matu.
No, he's a lovable guy.
Lovely.
Hard to dodge, especially when you played with Miracle and you're playing carry. It's hard to dodge like the hate train. Usually it comes for you at some point, But he's so lovable.
Yeah.
And even he's a dancer, for all you guys don't know. He dances, eh?
He does?
He does. I remember when we went to Hamburg, you and me, and you were with your friend, and I came. He was dancing with us the whole time with his girlfriend.
Ah.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a lovable guy.
I was thinking, is that also Zai's best, like, was that Zai's first, like, best placement, I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
He got, what was his placement?
Or maybe he
with
got
EG?
third already last year.
No,
with
in
Secret.
EG was when that year, the year that I was with them.
Was
Yeah,
fourth?
they lost to Empire.
No, but actually, Secret got third last year.
Oh, it's true.
Okay, no, that,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
just,
yeah,
that,
so it was
so he's
Secret,
been
yeah,
third 2 years
Secret.
in a row now. Like, twice in a row, he's just stopped before the grand finals. Okay.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Another lovable guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a great Dota player. I mean, wow.
So now what happens with Liquid? You have to figure out how to replace the irreplaceable guy. Probably the best position one. One of the best position ones.
Yeah, one of the best position ones. I mean, they saw it coming. I mean, he's been clear about this, right? I think halfway through the season, he's like, by the way, I am done. The second the season is over, bye-bye, you know? So yeah.
I mean, we were all sitting on the grass in Stockholm and everybody was playing
remember.
ball. Yeah, you
He
were
was
there.
still in the tournament, actually.
Yeah, you were still in the tournament and he's like, I'm grinding. He talks to us
And
like,
we're like, are you okay, man? He's like, no, I'm not. Like,
talks about the boat.
I'm
and
tired.
stuff.
I'm very
Yeah.
tired. Like, you're like, okay, well, maybe you should take a break. Yeah, like a break, like, you know. So-
This was just off the, the loss, I think, also they lost there.
No, I think it
remember?
was just after group stage, but they were still in the tournament. I
Oh,
would say.
okay,
Maybe
okay.
not,
But
maybe not.
anyways, it was very evident that the grind was taking a huge toll
Yeah.
on him. Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you think he will stay retired?
I think for sure a year, but I also say never, you know. Some people need a year, some people need 2 years. I mean, he said retired, and I think even said for good, but you can't take that too serious sometimes. But let's see.
Let's see.
What's your finish read,
Yes.
Topias? If
I don't
if you have
know.
any.
Like, what's the finish rate? I don't know. Probably he just wants to chill. Like maybe he does the same as yesterday. He realized like, oh wait, maybe the competition is too fun, and then eventually comes back. But even yesterday, he's not just coaching. Like he's not playing anymore. But
Yeah.
can't really tell. I don't know him that well.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So talking about people coming or leaving retirement, Topias, what's up with you? It's just
I don't know.
it's a
dude.
normal conversation. Just
I don't know.
I think everyone that I meet in the arena, where is Topias going? Like,
You tell me. I don't know. I don't know. dude.
back to SCA.
Hopefully you. Yeah.
Hopefully-
That's my dream. I guess.
So we're gonna announce to everybody that next year EU is gonna have 25 slots because everybody's coming to EU. I've heard South American players coming to EU. I heard about even Chinese players have messaged me.
Seriously?
Yes, that they wanna come to EU. North American players that wanna come to EU. So I don't know.
Wow,
I
the
have
pubs are going
45
to be
teams.
crazy also then if that
Yeah.
really goes through. And less crazy in the other regions, I guess.
And a lot of CIS players also as well to come into EU. Some of
Oh,
these,
really?
Some of these stacks that are forming, they want to play in EU. They don't want to play in.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Because we're playing the same server anyway. Why wouldn't they?
My assumptions is that there is a more stable climate happening in EU. You know,
I see.
financially, economically, and
Yeah, there is. I mean, for sure there is.
so you know.
Okay.
So I mean, for you guys that don't know, I want to explain you what happens in the next 24 to 48 hours. Everybody's gonna try to go to the after party today, and then all the teams start. We call it finding. Finding, is that correct? Finding. And it's like you start seeing, oh, is that a player talking to? And normally it's Boba in the middle. It's just Boba talking to everybody. He's like the traffic controller. And we just try to figure out where Boba takes each player, and then we start making assumptions on what kind of rosters are going to be built. And it all happens on the after party. So this is a working night for everybody tonight. And yeah, and you start seeing like, oh, I remember like Sumail is hanging out with Nigma. Oh, I think this is happening. You know, Sumail is hanging out with Secret. So if you're not on the after party, there's a chance that you end up playing in NA next year. So that will be your last resort, you know.
That's how we look at it.
NA will be your place to go. Okay, well, let's go with Tundra. They were the ones that I thought they were going to win, but they were the ones that I didn't want to win.
Oh, really? No. I think their Dota deserves to win.
Yeah.
Best Dota deserves to win.
Yeah.
Sure. And they're the best Dota by far.
Yeah.
By far. Like, I don't know. I saw the first map they played at TI, and I was like, this team, you know. To be honest, and they didn't look like that only at TI. I think they looked like that in Stockholm Major, they look like that. Sure, the upper bracket didn't go well for them, but before the upper bracket, they were by far the better team. I remember speaking to, I don't remember who I got on a call after the first day of group stage, like, and then I was like, well, you know, we were doing fine, but it's gonna be really hard to stop Tundra. Like, I could already feel like their Dota was so powerful. And yeah, somehow we stopped them back then, but yeah, I feel like this TI, they were on another level, and other teams, to be honest, I feel like no teams came even close to their level. Like, not a single team in the entire tournament. So they fully deserve this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I felt like a lot of teams crumbled this year. I mean, there's many outside factors, perhaps. I mean, we're talking illness, Corona, you know, teams not being able to be together, be on the stage. And yeah, maybe some mental stuff, you know, the pressure maybe adds on, or maybe there's something else that also goes on. But yeah, I feel like LGD obviously underperformed. That was one of the big contenders and one of the big Dota minds. I mean, Nigma also isn't here, which is, I guess, one of the factors potentially coming from the outside. Maybe some teams that deserve to show their Dota to the world as one of the best also doesn't get to go here. Yeah, there's a lot of things, but Thunder was the one to be here, to be stable, and they also showed like what you can achieve if you play your stuff the best. I feel like nobody really found that for themselves also. Like, they didn't find their own playstyle and perfect it. I feel like that's what Thunder did. They found their playstyle, they stuck with it, and they perfected it.
Any special mentions out of, I mean, obviously, I'm sure we're going to talk about all the Thunder players, but you guys can think of special mentions?
I mean, there's something to say about everyone, right? Like Snaking and his support and the vision of the game, and then there's, I mean, obviously N0tail. I think the last game was incredible. I think he stayed top net worth for his team the whole game. Had like some 13-minute or 14-minute overlord.
And was always in the right place at the right time.
Oh,
like,
I mean, there's this fight at the triangle. I mean, we were there, right? And normally they're always on the side lane. And then all of a sudden, Secret are probably like, let's jump this guy. There shouldn't be all here. And then all of a sudden, all the Thunder players are here, and N0tail is here. He wasn't playing the normal beast play style. Yeah, Saksa owning it up. I mean, he by far had the best tiny of the tournament. I mean, more than this, like the Marcy, everything flawless, the hoodwink. I think he was one of the only hoodwink performers as well.
And he got banned against him so much.
Banned, yeah. Nobody got a hoodwink ban, I think, except him. Skitter, Skitter and Nine also. I think the way that they played their heroes is also very unique. People had to ban it. People had to adapt to it. Nobody plays the heroes that Nine does. Very few played some of the heroes that Skitter does. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely say something for everyone. It's very easy. But they came together as a team as well.
I'm going to mention Aoi.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
There's
everybody was giving him credit,
Yeah,
right?
there's a big part of what Aoi does. Little nerd. He loves
I mean,
it.
you saw there was like this team interview, right? Like a pre-game interview from Tundra, and they always were praising very different things about him. Like, they were praising how good he was at like dissecting the game and helping them understand how to play better and do the little things better. They were talking about how much he helps them build themselves up outside of the game as competitors, and you know, like as a kind of like their own shape and their mindset. They even mentioned about how much he helped them to cope with losses as a team and kind of bounce back. I mean, so many things, right? So he seemed to be playing an immense role within that team, and he's a TI winner. You know, I think we tend to forget about the impact he can have on teams, right? Like he was. I mean, he was already Naga back then, right? Like, wasn't he like the Naga specialist at TI?
He was the +4 Naga and Tekis versus broke seeded
Visage,
completely.
right? Like AOI Visage for some reason.
I don't think
Yeah,
was it for that team as well? Yeah, maybe he was support
like
Visage that team as well.
AOI Visage, AOI Naga.
The Drow, they were doing the Drow Visage with Fear. Yeah.
So, you know, probably a very underestimated kind of mind of the game.
We talked about him last year when we were looking for coaches. So, I mean, people know how good he is.
I think not many of the pro players probably overlooked him. I would say. I mean, there's the ones that maybe has gotten a chance to talk to him and play with him. But I could say now, I think people have to open their eyes to this guy. Doesn't know just the team stuff, doesn't know just the Dota stuff, but I think he's the full package kind of coach.
If you think about it, what EG did in those finals is very similar. Is how do I break the game, which is the kind of the nerdy stuff, you know.
Yeah. Hopefully, he doesn't get kicked this time.
I wanted to mention something that obviously is very... So the best teams that we've seen winning in TI win in a unique way. And today we saw a team that was dominant with too many heroes. They have too many things going on. You know, say, do you ban Doom? Do you ban the Mirana? Do you start banning all their heroes? There's too many heroes to ban, you know? And then if you ban these guys, he plays Task Middle. And then he owns you with that. that they become impossible to play against. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys did a lot of those things, you know, like if you have too many broken strategies and so many things that you feel confident playing.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's about broken heroes as much as it is about macro. I think
Okay.
they
Yeah.
understand things about this game that other teams either don't grasp as well or don't respect as much as they do.
I think many players will come up with different types of answers. I mean, it's a wide hero pool. It's a complicated game. But if you implement the things that they do, let's say Topson would go mid for Tundra, I think he wouldn't play maybe Tusk. But he could potentially find his own thing that fits into what they're doing or vice versa. You know, like if Nine has a type of style mid, it opens up also heroes for the side lanes. I think they complement each other really well. You know, they don't just copy other people. They find their own things that work. And with that, you build on top of it. You figure out what it is that you like that works with what this guy likes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because you guys played with Martin, you guys were the problem, just so you know. You were holding back the TI.
You have the clown picture still, yeah? Another round?
No, Martin wouldn't have me wear this.
I'll wear it. So yeah, Secret's gonna win. We got this, boys. So yeah, Martin.
I mean, obviously, he's one of the hardest working Dota players,
So
right?
good.
Like, how many times has he been in the top 10 on his multiple accounts? Like, I don't care, like, all these other things about smurfing. When you make it to the top just so you can get into games, so the queue time isn't 2 hours, that says something about your character, like your caliber as a player. He deserves it very, like, maybe more than anyone in terms of like how much you grind in the game. Like, I think he might have like more Dota played than anyone on his team. I can't confirm, but this guy grinds, you know.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's an absolute beast.
The Hoodwink, I think, obviously had 1 million plays during this tournament, but there was this fight at Roche where Tiny is right next to the Roche, and he's hitting him. You saw the arrow right in the middle of everything. Pump.
I mean,
He's
I think
incredible.
what strikes me the most about Martin is his spellcasting. I think he's one of the best spellcasters I've met. I think it's really, really rare that it's not that he misses a spell, that like he doesn't uses his spells like perfectly in the game. And like I feel like when he plays Hoodwink, it's always the best bushwhack. It's always, you know, the tosses back, they always
toss.
happen on
Yeah,
triple
the
avalanche.
tiny.
Like he's so good at clicking his spells and his team fighting ability, his spell casting. I felt like, yeah, maybe one of his weaknesses as a player was the mental game and the mindset. But this tournament, I didn't see any sign of that. You know, like, and yeah, when you're that good at the game and you're fully enabled, yeah, I guess you win TI. You know, so props to him. He's an incredible player. I don't know. I'm sure all three of us were looking at him and felt super happy for him. Like he very much deserves it.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like he was, you know, much more comfortable now with Thunder than without us. Well, he was, and yeah, I mean, he was shining for sure. He was really, really good.
I think he found something with N0tail. Eh? They found something, a cool growth together. Whatever they were gelling, they gelled with it because you could feel that they actually were enjoying the vibe. You know.
Yeah, they had great synergy.
Yep.
Great. It started from the lane and throughout the entire game. Amazing synergy.
I want to make a special mention for the Game 1 Tidehunter N0tail. What a build, you know? It was the item?
Oh yeah, Wraithback, what a build.
Wraithback. No, it was the Wraithback into the pipe, into the Maze Slayer, and then with the heart.
He bought the blink also, right?
He bought hood and then he bought the cloak and then he went pipe.
Yeah.
He had like double cloak and then he went pipe.
such-
and then
Did he not
That's
get a...
such a N0tail thing.
Well, did he have the early blink?
yeah.
He did have the early blink in this game too, no?
No, I think he went. No, in game 2, no.
No, on the Tidehunter.
It was game 1.
Yeah,
It was game 1.
It was like Wraithback into pipe.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw Blink Rabbit.
Right
No,
back,
never mind.
Pipe and then he went
Mage Slayer.
Mage Slayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we saw it in the fight.
And then,
and
heart.
Blink. Okay.
And he would just stay in the middle. And
heart,
I mean, his slash was like, hey, what's going on? My hero's not working. Like, I have ulti off or no? I have
He's
ulti
literally
on.
doing 0 damage.
Zero damage.
Zero damage the whole fight, every time.
was-
And
Yeah.
same with the Pudge, like the Roche fight,
Yeah.
they're just there and
Yeah.
literally no damage.
I mean, there was both Pudge and Lesh, like, going at it, right?
3-man, like, split earth into Pudge, Lash, full damage on 3 heroes. And we're like, well, nothing is happening. You know, this is really awkward, you know? Like, are they slept or something? I was like, what's going
But
on?
I also feel like that's one of the things in this series, right, where you go into game 1 and you spend some bullets on the bands, and then all of a sudden, N0tail plays Tidehunter for not the first time, but for like second or third time the whole tournament, and it didn't work at all, like what you tried to do.
And you feel like you have a tight problem. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it feels like
and you
you're
end up
losing-
banning it and stuff later
I'm
on.
like, oh, this hero is broken. We should
Like-
totally buy Tide next. game.
It's like you play against the Brood and you're like, well, we gotta ban Brood, like this is broken, and then they're like, oh, we gotta ban Visage, like this is broken, oh, we gotta ban Tide, yeah, but man, it's a best of 5, like it's not a best of 11 or something. So I think he leaves you with this feeling of like, well, I don't know, I guess this we just have to tank this, this feeling. He's a disturbing player to play against. Like, I mean, in terms of like what he brings to the game and how he sometimes can maybe make his opponents feel like.
I mean, you mentioned
very
it before.
broken.
It's tedious.
Yeah.
Like playing against Tundra in the past, and I think Skitter has some part to take in it, but definitely N0tail. Like I'll never forget this qualifier dominator PTSD we all suffered from afterwards.
Yeah.
Everybody was tired after this, like brain tired.
Yeah, you're like, I hope they never get back up. You know?
Yeah, no, I was like, God bless these guys didn't make it to TI. That's what we said.
How it feels like, and of course, not out of disrespect or something. That's like
Out of
Quite the opposite.
Out of
Quite the
like-
opposite.
yeah.
I don't want to see him again for a
Yes,
while, you know?
it's like this was too hard. Like I can't do this again.
Oh
like,
my God.
Until next
There
year.
was one of the fights that pretty much the game was already decided on the bottom lane when they were going uphill, and Tide was just there for like I think 20, 25 seconds. He was right next to the ledge. He was doing nothing, and then he just did the taunt walking by. I was like, at that point, I don't want to play. I don't want to play this game. I don't want to play the second game. I don't want to play this game. He broke them emotionally.
He's a great player. Great player. I think everybody recognizes how good he is. He does it with so many heroes. Of course, now he's gonna be remembered as the Visage and the Brood. But like we've played online with his Chen, Chen core, and people were like, oh, this is so nerdy and this is so. No, but he does it with so many things. Like at this point, it's not about heroes. It's about like how he looks at Dota and what he does with his heroes. And he can probably, I mean, I can testify how good his Darkseer is, or his Batrider. Like he's amazing on these heroes, and I think he's one of the best, if not the best Darkseer in the world. And he hasn't shown that hero yet. And I'm sure that he would have left people with the same feeling of like, oh, this is broken, we gotta ban it. This is so abused, I think whenever people could call something abuse, it means you're pretty good at the game. This guy would know about it. It's like, oh, this is Monkey King abuser and stuff. No, it's not. There's no such thing as abusers. Like they're just too good at the game, and you're just salty. Like get good. Stop whining. Get good.
I think we can confidently say that we have like the two guys that won TI. They're ex-OGs, right? N0tail and Martin.
No, you're not gonna take any credit from Tundra.
No,
we
no.
have nothing to do with their win. Tundra won. We lost.
They were missing.
Accept the hard reality. Take the clown sign and move on with your life.
I think I can just keep the whole podcast. It's definitely an improvement. Bigger
That
eyes.
is us, and it is them. Like,
So,
let the winners be the winners.
That's amazing.
No, yeah.
I think I'm from the nerdy part. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's just like maybe a few words about Skitter, because I feel like it's his first TI, or am I mistaken with that?
I want to
Audience.
say yes.
Yeah, I
think
think so. Yeah.
It's his first TI, like.
Yeah.
He's
Tell
one
me,
of-
how is that?
Maybe he can be your friend. Like,
Do you have each other on Steam yet?
you guys have like a
Just,
WhatsApp group of like the Royal Roaders.
Need to make sure he doesn't win next year, guys.
Oh.
That's the whole point of you coming back? Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
First TI and he wins it. I mean, it is really impressive. Like,
He has improved so much.
Yeah.
Like in the last years. Like I don't know, like a year ago, 2 years ago. You look at this guy. I mean, he's always been super motivated for a long time now, and I feel like he wasn't on that level like yet, and he has proven that like hard work, his dedication, and his will to get better.
Yeah.
And he has really proven that he is one of the best now, or the best.
I remember we were watching him in Poland, right? When we were bootcamping in Poland, I think maybe they were bootcamping there too. Actually, I don't remember which team he was part of. And I'm just thinking of that, of like the growth, as you mentioned. It's incredible how much he's grown as a player and how good, like strong he is now. So big props to him. First TI, you win it. Feel like also special mention to Snaking, because I feel like he's a little bit like AUI. Like he's been very underrated as a player, as a captain. I mean, TI8, he was VCG Storm. Maybe he wasn't the captain back then. He wasn't the captain, but I'm sure in every team that he's been part of, he's probably been a very
SVG.
vocal.
SVG, the captain.
Yeah, but I'm sure he plays a leader role in every team that he's been part of, and they were dominating the group. They were looking like one of the strongest teams of the tournament. Same in TI9, TI10 Tundra. I feel like maybe he was gate kept a little bit by us, unfortunately, these 3 years. But I mean, it was about time before he could dominate, and what a dominance. So props to him,
So we're gonna go for a few questions, but I'm literally gonna hold this because I know what's happening.
No.
I said, I met Johan on the lobby on TI9, and I was like, hey, Johan, what's up, buddy? And I remember you saying, here, trying to win it again. And I was thinking, no way, no way. I met a
Gabe Newell
skier.
said the same thing, by the way, in the elevator. He was like, oh, so you're going to go for it again? I was like, what else do you think I'm here for? I'm like, yeah, of course, big man, you know?
Yeah. And then I remember meeting a Skeeter 2.5 years ago, and he's like, I'm gonna win TI 1 year. I'm like, yeah, sure.
Me too.
Totally, me three. And he was like, no, I'm gonna win TI. I'm like, sure, dude. Where's the camera,
Yeah.
Hats off,
Yeah.
He saw it, and he went for it.
I mean, some people want to win so bad, they'll do whatever it takes to get there, They'll move mountains. Yeah.
So again, I'm gonna give a round of applause for Tundra, because they deserve it before we go to the questions.
Peace.
Okay, we don't have a lot of time today, so we're gonna go directly to the questions, so we have time to sign and to spend a little bit with time with you guys. Hello? Hi. We have a mic issue.
Mic test 1 2 1 2.
Hello. No microphone.
Ayo.
Production. No.
All good.
Okay.
All right, come here. Fuck it. We're gonna do this way. Right, come here. Yeah, come this
Yeah,
way.
come on up.
Come here. Well, we're gonna wing it. We don't have a microphone. This is what you get.
All right. So
It better be a great question, eh?
No pressure.
I promise it's going to be a great one. So I have one question focusing on one individual player, but probably Ceb and N0tail could provide some true sight. So what's the main big difference or crucial changes that you noticed from Saksa in OG 2021 and now in Tundra 2022 that get him the Aegis of Champions?
Oh, good question.
Good?
Good.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, sure.
What do you guys think? Do you have anything that comes to mind?
I would just repeat what Topi has said before. He seems very comfortable in this team. I think we were having maybe a little bit of trouble with a couple of team gelling things and maybe seeing the game the same way. I think he could have been right. I think we could have been right about some things. But obviously, this guy had a really good read on Dota. And I think he found a group of people that he gelled with so hard. And they became, they played their style and they played it perfectly. And yeah, I think that's the kind of environment that just suits him. Like,
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe playstyle, maybe playstyle we were not as much in sync as he seemed to be with Tundra, and maybe also in terms of mentality, as in like mindset or like what kind of energy you need going into certain games. Maybe we were a little bit more combative. Not that there aren't, but maybe they're a little bit more. Maybe calmer in a way. I don't know how to put it, but I feel like maybe they're a little bit more laid back going into these games and a little bit more chilling. Maybe we're a little bit more on the kind of energy side of things. So maybe there was a little bit of that.
Yeah. Well, good question, my friend.
Yeah, thank you.
Before they like you more than me and I lost my job. Thank you so much. Give it up for him. Okay, do we have a microphone working?
Hope this doesn't work. Okay.
Yeah.
Talking signature heroes and clash of styles, in the past we saw things like Carry Wisp by OG being picked up by other teams. Same with Mid Werven, Mid Coddle, that 9 pioneered, being popularized. What stopped teams this year from being able to pick up Tundra's style? What kept it dominant but other teams not being able to do it?
I mean, what you just said, nobody was really able to copy either. I think that's the beauty of the game as well. People tried to copy OG IO. People eventually figured out some Coddle mid, like some players did, but nobody really successfully copied the same way like his playstyle and his impact that he had on the Viren and other heroes. So I think that's just the beauty of the game, People see different things.
Yeah, and maybe also what Tundra does, it's very, very synergetic. Like the 5 of them are really making each other's heroes and what they want to do in the game shine. So you'd need the entirety of the team to grasp it as well and copy it. And do like, for instance, they tried to take the Naga, right? Like it happened in that finals, but it didn't look at all. Maybe the lineup was not what Tundra would have picked, the way they played the lanes, the way when they decided to fight. I mean, so many things. It's just really hard, really, really hard to make it happen. It happens to a lot of teams. I mean, yeah, I remember TI 8 times or TI 9 or Topias was doing certain things. A lot of teams try to copy it. And I think for some of them, it took them years. Like, I do feel like some people maybe got very inspired by some of the heroes you would play back then or how you would play these heroes. And now maybe they do it pretty well. But yeah, when you have to adapt in a tournament, it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, if you have 1 week or 1 day to adapt, like, there's no way you have enough time to understand enough to, like, you know, copy something. And obviously TI is, I mean, this time there was a 5-day break, so I don't know how much you can adapt there, but, like, there's just not enough time. Like, there's no way enough time to actually, like, copy a build, like, play style or something like that. Something like that. Even, like, copying one hero is, like, already, like, you have to understand so much things, so copying a full play style, like, it's too hard.
Okay, we're gonna have to rapid fire the rest of the questions. Hello, showing the guns.
Hi. Yeah.
I see how it works.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working.
I don't know, we'll see.
It's really cool. So I guess 2 points to OG today.
All right,
So the
that's
question
why you're going
is,
for it? Okay.
The question is, top 3 TIs. Does TI 11 fit in that category for you guys?
In terms of the games, you mean? Like, or the event?
I think it's just general excitement in watching the game and appreciating whatever's been happening this whole tournament.
Yeah, they were really epic games, I feel. Maybe the final was not as epic, you know? Yeah. But imagine the final had been quite epic, it would have probably been there. So maybe it still deserves to be there. I mean, I don't know, the Liquid Thunder, like the Entity game, there were some really epic TI games, I feel.
I think entertainment-wise, it could be in the top 3. Lots of games were super hype and really entertaining to watch. But in terms of quality of Dota and theories getting tested, I wouldn't put it in my top 3.
No. Is there in your top 3, Topias?
And also, wait, I don't want to say it, but like the stream crashed in the finals, and that like, bam, like, oh, like what happened?
It crashed in
it did.
It did. We were full panicking, like trying to watch follow the game, you know?
I think it did, right? There was like a
Yeah,
lot
the
of
official stream crashed. Yeah.
Top 3 or not?
To me, no. It's like TIs before TI 8, they were really hyped because I was just a fan, right? It's like, it's just way more hype, like watching those games when you were just like, not a pro yet.
Yeah.
And now, like, watching, I mean, obviously, like, TI 8, TI 9, those are obviously my best ones, you know?
Right.
We won, so it's the best. And then, yeah, I mean, I don't know. The TIs before I was a player, those were, for me, the most hype ones. Yeah.
I would say that for me, the best games of this TI, which were amazing, were just not the grand finals, because I think they were really, really great games. And it's just a final that is a stamp, is, you know, leaves you in a weird, because I mean, last year, I remember after a few games, we were like, oh, LGD is going to take this. And there was a beautiful comeback at the end. So anyway, but thank you for the question, my friend. We have one more last question, and then we'll spend time with everybody.
Yeah, okay, so there's always a roster shuffle period after TI, right? So for each one of you, what is your wildest predictions for what we can expect in the next few weeks?
I would say, before we say anything, there is information that we obviously have, and we're not sure that we want to leak it here.
No,
not right now.
We're sure we don't want to leak it.
Yeah, but I was being like, no, we're not leaking it. Wildest predictions that without leaking, I don't know. I would say if you have another question, to give you a chance to actually ask a question.
Yeah.
We can't answer that.
Hard. Yeah, we can't really
Yeah.
answer that question. Yeah. If we have info, we have to, obviously.
Are we getting kicked? No, I don't know.
Okay, so another question would be, based on the current meta, right? Like, what do you think happened to teams that actually got eliminated early on? Like, what was the one thing that they couldn't handle with?
I don't know if I should say COVID.
What?
COVID. No, I think there were a lot of external factors and maybe like TI pressure. I think that got in the way for a lot of the like LGD, RNG. Yeah, I don't know. And then maybe some things got to shine because of it too. You know, so. I think the theory wasn't the best, but we got to see some great Dota.
I feel like some of the heroes also that ended up being very dominant. Like if you think of Naga and Brood, like these heroes are not so easy to copy. Like if you don't have a Naga player or a Brood player, it's probably harder to kind of adapt meta-wise. I feel like, you know, when it's the Leshraks and the more kind of, I don't know. I don't want to say easier Dota heroes because every hero is hard, but Naga is definitely a very special hero. I think everybody would agree with that, and so is Brood. Kind of, it's very macro. Macro-wise is very special and micro-intensive also. Yeah. So that probably stopped some of the teams.
not every team had a morph player either, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like hard heroes that were meta, I feel like. So, or like very like
A niche.
expert heroes, you know? It felt a bit
Usually
like
it
that.
used to be like +5 heroes that were really hard and intensive
Like-
to play. Like everybody needed to play N0tail, otherwise you were like big steps behind.
I feel like when it's Shaker and Ogre, that are like the big...
Ogre,
You know, it's like,
Ogre meta.
if Ogre is the best TI hero, well, chances are every team is going to play Ogre and it's going to be fine, you know? It's like, I can't think of a player who's like, oh, it was a TI Ogre, I could not pick it
couldn't
up.
copy
Like,
that, yeah,
that's-
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for the question. We're going to wrap it up. Our final thoughts. We've done 8 shows in 9 days. One of them has not been published yet. It's a surprise episode that we recorded. We're not saying anything else. It's been probably one of the coolest 9 days of my life, spending time with every one of you. I am exhausted.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of energy to put the show, and then we watch it at night, and we try not to be horrible the next day. And I needed improvement, and the last episode was amazing, and now we're here. I don't know, it's a big thank you for everybody. We feel the love.
Yeah.
We felt it. Today they went to the OG store. We sold out everything in the OG store pretty much on the first day. They went signing. There was hundreds of people there. I don't know. I said it many times. I was an OG COVID CEO. I've never got to go with you guys anywhere. It's awesome. It's awesome. Every single interaction that we have had this week has been, amazing. And we're very, very, very humbled in experience.
Yeah, always trying to, I mean, we feel the love and the support, and we're so grateful and thankful, trying to give back as much as humanly possible. Obviously, fatigue comes in, and it's not, like there are limits to that, even though we wish there were not, but it's just how it is. But it's been amazing. It's been like, I feel so grateful for all of it.
My muscles are so sore here, like this smiling. I'm so sore.
But it's good. It's good pain. It's
Yeah, of
pain
course.
to be grateful for.
Yeah.
And to
Yeah,
be
I don't like smiling, so I've had to smile way too much like last couple of days.
That's a lie.
The first day I saw him, he arrived, and he was in the middle of where everybody was, and I suddenly received a message, help, please. And I said, Tobias, is he there? So if we didn't have time to say hi to you guys at the event, I'm sorry. Sometimes I had to get them from point A to point B. To get them here, the last 2 days, we had to run through crowds, and I'm sorry we didn't get to say hi to you guys.
Not be late and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, thank you. Thank you so much for everything. We couldn't do everything without you guys. And I gave kudos to you before. We get to leave this legacy that you guys created. We all get to add, there was a different generation and a different generation. Thank you so much, everybody in OG who has been also working day and night here. Our partners from
huge
Secretlab,
thanks.
Red Bull. There's so many of you here that has been helping us every day. It really takes a whole village. You have no idea how many people it takes to do this show. People from production, everybody, it's a massive thank you. Massive thank you. It's 30 or 40 people working every day. OG is the best because of the people that we have here. They were here day and night, and thank you so much, everybody. I get emotional, but I will not cry, not right now, but it's the coolest fucking thing I've ever done in my life.
Awesome.
It's awesome.
That's
Thank you so much, everybody. Round of applause. And